Painter's name. The topic of Ukraine interests me because I am Russian. I will read about it on your website. Yeah, Painter's name. Here, I'll link up my article. Since you're Russian, you'll have a appreciation of what I wrote because it's connected to Armenia as well. Here, I'll link it up for you. Okay. Doink. Doink. Let's see if this is the one. Yeah, it's got a few updates and I put out a video on it. But so the top part is update 7 and you scroll down update 1, and then with the double dotted lines, that's the article that I wrote in 2014, and it sort of links up with here you go, and I'll link it up in SensorTube chat as well. I'll vote for it, to be honest. Aldegos says AFD I would vote for, to be honest. Yeah, right. If you read that, basically what's been going on, and one other article that you might find interesting. Oh, I don't have it on here. On my previous website, I wrote an article regarding the war in Georgia, and at that time when it was happening, I called the Georgia-Russian war the beginning of World War III because NATO's actions in Georgia in 2008, around that period, that led to the war between Georgia and Russia, awakened the Russian bear, right? And man, I want to find you that article. If you're Russian, you'll appreciate it. How is the best way to find it? Let me see if I can find it this way. I have to go to the previous site. It's on archive, it's not up anymore. Oh, archive is down? You kidding me? Archive.org is down? I hope we didn't lose. Okay, I'm gonna end it. Okay, I won't link it up. Hopefully it's not going to mess up the connection. But anyway, I called the beginning of the Russia-Georgia war the beginning of World War III because it awakened the Russian bear. Dr. David Banner. Steven Seagal was in a movie called Blunder Siege, which he refused to act but would agree to rough up the extras who were his fans. Doge took over archive. You're kidding me, controllers. And I hope not. I hope not. Oh my God, what are you linking up? This song is amazing. Who is it? Panic. I'm interested in 2018 Georgia war. I haven't looked into it. Yeah. Basically, it was NATO's blunder attempt to move one step closer to Russia, and they didn't think Russia would react as harshly as it did. But basically, everything was in place for Russia to come out of hibernation and go, we're done with you clowns in the Western world. One swipe, Georgia was taken care of, and while the Western world was yelling and screaming about that, Russia was preparing in the background because that was the beginning stages. Putin was getting ready. Putin, when he got into power in 1999-2000, was trying to lean to the West, right? Trying to just not have that animosity, join the Western sphere economically, everything, because they are part of Europe, right? But when the Georgia war happened, the instigation, it wasn't unprovoked, right? The Georgian military killed a few Russians. Russia realized that there's no way that they will be allowed to tilt towards the Western sphere, right? Because all the West wants to do is balkanize them, right? So they took care of Georgia. Speedy Gonzalez drew the line and said, don't fuck with us. And in the background, they were getting ready. It took some serious prepping for them to be able to do what they've done the last 3 years, right? After Munich speech, that was I don't know if that was after the Munich speech or before the Munich speech. Panic. My timing on that, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. But yeah, the Munich speech happened around the same time, right? And there was one other interview that was extremely important, but I can't find it. I've tried looking for it again and again and again. I can't find it. And it was a interview that Putin gave to Western reporters, and this was pre 2014 coup, Ukraine coup, right? And Russia, because the Western reporters were asking them just propaganda questions, just stupid questions, right? And Putin had had enough. So Putin turned around to the reporters and said, why, he asked them a question. He goes, why are you propagating these lies against Russia? Why are you not doing any proper speeches or proper reports on what is happening in Russia, with NATO and stuff like this? Don't you people, paraphrasing Putin, talking to reporters, he's turning to them and goes, don't you people understand that we are a nuclear armed power? We have the largest nuclear arsenal in the world, and you're still helping Western governments to wage war on Russia. Do you not understand that if Western nations, if NATO starts a war with Russia, it will go nuclear, and all those Western politicians and bureaucrats that you are protecting, they will not allow you to go inside their bunkers. So if a nuclear war happens, you will die and your family will die. Do you understand this? Right? This was Putin saying this during a press conference to Western reporters, and I wish I saved that video. I wish I saved that video, because that's exactly what it was. Okay, that's exactly what it was. A whole bunch of dumbass bought and paid for Western propagandists, and with the USAID revelations that has happened in the last few weeks, we know that a lot of those reporters, propagandists, were paid by neocons, USAID, right, to propagate bullshit, Western bullshit, so they could balkanize Russia, right? And Putin straight out said, you guys are morons, because you don't understand. You're pushing for nuclear war, and you and your family and your loved ones will also die in that nuclear war. And do you think your paycheck, and he talked about their paycheck, do you think the money you're getting paid right now is worth it? Right? If anybody ever finds that interview at that press conference, man, I will be so grateful if you can find it. Please come to Matrix and link it up for us, because that's one video. There's a few videos throughout the years that I wish I saved. That is number one on my list. I wish I saved that video. I wish I saved that video. As far as the article that I wish I saved that I can't find anymore, is the articles that I've referenced that I read like 25 years ago that said the true promised land of the Zionists is not really Israel. They're using that to start World War III. It's actually the Americas. Okay. Panic. Do I remember the year roughly? I think the year was early 2010s. I believe that's when it was. Okay. I can't find it. I can't find it. It might have been before that. It might have been, I don't think it was after maybe it was after the Ukraine coup. Maybe so, mid 2010s. It's around that period. Sorry, I wish I knew. Alder God is asking what year. If you guys can find it, man, I've tried multiple times to find it, and I just can't. It doesn't come up. Panic. The Munich speech was 2007. Okay.